demonstration. As I already told you, I have been working on SAP Fiori and UFI for the last 5 years now, and I have done a few implementations, and I cannot really take the names of the people for whom I have done the implementation because uh, I have signed an NDA with them. But I will tell you, I have done an implementation with one of the airlines. I have done an implementation with one of the FMCG companies, etc. Right. So I'm not sure if you have been working with SAP for a long time or not, but SAP has a long history of different GUIs and user interfaces. SAP started with the command prompt. I'm not sure if you know what is command prompt, but if you open up your desktop and you go into your command prompt, or you just type in command, this is the command prompt, and this is where SAP started with. SAP had this kind of command prompt earlier when when SAP started creating its own software. It was before the R3. At that point of time, you had to remember each and every command that you needed to put, just like a DOS command, DOS command, disk operating system command. So for example, here, if I needed to see the directories, I need to type in dir, and if I need to change a directory, I had to type in cd, links, and so on and so forth. So the point of showing you the command prompt is that just wanted to show you and make you realize that how all of these user interfaces started. The user interface started with the command prompt. At that point of time, uh, SAP also had everything on its command prompt, but everyone had to remember all the commands of SAP software to execute anything. Then as time progressed, SAP transformed its command prompt to GUI, if you can see that here. And that GUI is now widely available as SAP GUI. SAP GUI was highly successful software. Everyone who has worked in and out of SAP has worked in SAP GUI. There is not even a single guy who works in the SAP domain and has not seen SAP GUI. So this is the reach of SAP GUI, or the graphical user interface. GUI stands for graphical user interface. This is the reach of the graphical user interface. Every Fortune 500 company has SAP installed, and every one of them have SAP GUI with them. From SAP GUI, so SAP GUI is one of the fastest user interface for SAP and for data processing also. But as time progressed and technology changed, people started to move on to the web side of the world, or the browsers of the world. Everyone had a laptop or a computer, and everyone wanted to be on the internet. At that point of time, SAP introduced a WebDyn Pro, and WebDyn Pro is also a very matured enough framework for SAP right now. But still, it appears that the development progress and the technology progresses every day. So the the point of WebDyn Pro was to get everything online on the web, but there was still a hell lot of a difference between the other web applications and the SAP's applications. So for example, if I open up Chrome and I go to Google or something, then, or even if I open up my email, I hope you have worked on. So let's say if I open up Amazon.com, so you see it's a pretty fast thing, and if I click on any of these, the only thing that changes is that particular field. So if I click on deal of the day or anything in there, so only the below part changes. The above part, if you see, the black part does not change. That's what it is. That's why these technologies are very different from SAP's WebDen Pro. If you have a WebDen Pro GUI, if you have worked on WebDen Pro, all that you would keep seeing is a circle going on and on and on, and a wait time on the WebDen Pro. WebDen Pro. Sorry. So I don't see a WebDen Pro screen. Oops. So I'm still not used to the Windows 10 paradigm of moving around fingers on the tab. Anyways, this is the WebDen Pro screen that I have been talking about right now. So if you click on there and it will go back to the server and come back, it will take a lot of time. And that also gave users a bad impression, a bad feeling, a bad user interface, and that's why SAP has been hearing a lot of that. And when SAP hears something like that, SAP tries to work on it, and that's when SAP UI5 came into picture. Now the user strategy is SAP UI5, and SAP UI5 has evolved into SAP Fiori now. So if you see the difference between different SAP uh, SAP's UI, it is class apart. Right now, if you can see that the SAP Fiori Launchpad, where everything is settled. So this is where you can access each and every of the SAP's applications inside of the SAP Fiori Launchpad. You can see that it's class apart. It can work on the desktop. It can work on the tablets. It can also work on the mobiles. With seamless integration. There is no problem in going to any of those screens, and they are a lot more faster performance. They have been working on the performance a lot more time. So this is the SAP's official. Yeah. All right. So that was SAP's Fiori. Any questions up till now? All right. So that was a little about SAP Fiori. About that, now let's check about the SAP UF5. So what exactly is SAP UF5? SAP UF5 is the baseline technology in which SAP is trying to transform its user experience. SAP UF5 is device agnostic. When I say device agnostic, it means it can adapt to any of the screens. For example, it can be on a phone, it can be on a tablet, and can be on a desktop. During these sessions, during the course of our training, I will show you the different adaptability of SAP Fiori's or SAP Fiori and SAP F5's libraries, which will adapt automatically to the phone, the tablet, and the desktop. All that you need to do is code once and forget. So this is the same kind of app. So it appears differently in the phone, it appears differently in the tablet, and it appears differently in the desktop version. So that's the idea behind SAP Fiori, SAP Fiori and UF5 paradigms. Code once, and you don't need to worry about the different devices that would be connected on the internet. And this has become really a mainstay for SAP. So if you have checked out the SAP's new strategy, user interface strategy, it is that everything would be converted to SAP Fiori or UF5 in due course of time. Not, I mean, it's not very easy for SAP to convert everyone to SAP Fiori or SAP UF5 because of the sheer size of the installations of SAP. So, because of the sheer size of the SAP installations that have been done across the world. So as I already mentioned, most of the Fortune 500 companies have already got SAP and are already working on SAP GUI. and they are very comfortable with it. But people are now starting to realize the uh, potential of SAP Fiori and UF5 with the browser-based integration, because anyone can work anytime, any day of the week, any day of the week, anywhere they want. So, for example, if I am uh, a sales guy and I have SAP installed at my company, I can actually approve or create sales order from from my phone, even if I am at a client side and I do not have access to my laptop and things like that, and I can still do it via the SAP Fiori apps. Or if I am a manager and I am out on vacation, I can still approve leave for my subordinates, for my juniors, and I can still approve their purchase requests and things like that from a mobile device itself. I do not really need to have a system, a tablet, or a desktop machine. So what exactly is SAP UI5? SAP UI5 is a front-end design language used for development of SAP UI5 apps based on HTML5, CSS, and JavaScript. So SAP UI5 is actually sorry, is a framework, is a library which is made of JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. So I'm not sure if you're aware of JavaScript and HTML, but JavaScript is different from Java. JavaScript is not Java. We have to remember that all the time because many people confuse JavaScript with Java. So as I was saying, SAP UI5 is a framework which is created as a wrapper on top of JavaScript, HTML5, and CSS. The driving principle, the driving force behind the SAP UI5 is that they should be able to adapt to any screen on any device, which means even if there is a new kind of tablet with a new screen size, and if there is a new kind of desktop with a new screen size, or a new kind of phone or anything like that, the screens that you have created, the app, the SAP UI5 or the SAP Fiori app that you have created, will automatically adjust itself to any screen on that device. Of course, for as of right now, what I can think of is that SAP UI5 has been working on SAP has been working on SAP UI5 for around 6 to 7 years now. It released its UI5 last 4 to 5 years only, and that's when I got into it. So the point of that is that it has already developed a lot of controls. So if we check the SAP UI5 screens, you can see there these are called tiles on this screen. Oh, this is again going back. I don't want to see that now. So let me just show you. So if I see these screens, these are all these have common controls. Yeah. So these have common controls. This is a common control from UI5, and yeah. So these icons, these orange icon, this purple icon, this numbers, these are all appearing in controls. Controls. When I say control, it means button control. It means labels. It means everything that you can really think of in a UI environment. It can be a text box itself. So this paradigm is also already developed by SAP Fiori. So this is called a master and detailed paradigm. You have the buttons below, and you have the left-hand side with the list, and on the right-hand side you have the details. This is called the master detail paradigm. So the point of telling you all this is that it already has a lot of controls. It is already developed with a lot of controls, and they have been already tested with SAP's Fiori tabs and SAP Fiori apps, which are already hit the market right now. There are around 640 SAP Fiori apps already in the market. That's what I last checked. That's about the cutting edge controls. Also with SAP Fiori and SAP F5, the client or the customer or the implementer also gets all the powerful theming and branding options. So for example, if I have a themed, I have this theme, if you can see, this is a blue in color. This is called SAP's crystal blue theme. So if you see, all of these things are in blue color. Blue is the dominant color in here in all of the apps. This is called theming in the JavaScript or the web language. This theming can also change. Sorry, this is not the one. This one, yeah. So this theming can also change with something called a theme designer. So SAP already provides that. So if you can see, the people can change the whole background and the whole look and feel of apps using the theme designer. So you see there is a different background on the back and the colors are also red now. This is called a theme designer which SAP provides with its own SAP UI5. We would be covering that in detail when we do the once we are into the sessions already. You can also change the logos on the top, the logos on the below, and everything you can change. That's all because of the theming and the branding which SAP provides. It is very efficient, as I already told you that in during the web demo times, it always waited for the backend to come back, and because of that, you could not really do. You would have to wait a long time. So, for example, if you open up Gmail or something like that. So if you can see here also, this is also a very good example of not waiting for the response. So if I click on any of the images right now, if you can see, if I click on any of the image, only that portion is changed. But earlier what used to happen was, if I clicked on the image, a new image would be, so if I right click here and I click on open in new window, this is what used to happen earlier, in earlier web world. You click on an image and it opens up in the same tab, but it took a lot of time opening it up, and that's what is not acceptable to the user anymore. This is what the paradigm of the WebDentro was. WebDentro right now also opens up everything in a new tab or in a new waits for the backend to tell you that it is done, and now you can open up this image in a new link. So in a new window, that's not really what everyone is looking for, and everyone is not looking for to wait for the backend to reply and then to open up and then to start working. You have to click and you can work on there and then. And that's what the paradigm of SAP F5 is also about. So that would take care of the efficiency and the performance. These are all very lightweight applications, meaning they are, although they are, I mean, JavaScript has evolved a lot, but still, what SAP UI5 is using it for is for client-side programming and rendering, and that's where these all apps are very light in nature, as in they do not have a high footprint on the client side, and that's why they do not really need a lot of RAM or things like that installed on the user end. Although you would still need a good server to support all of that, but if you can open up Amazon, you should be able to open up this UI5 applications also. That's what is meant by the lightweight application. Any questions up till now? Okay, so if there are no questions, I will proceed further. Sorry. So as I said, most of the SAP's companies are Fortune 500 companies which are already running SAP software. They are right now moving to, slowly and steadily, they are moving to the mobile platforms. I already told you that there are already projects in SAP UI5 which needs SAP Fiori and other things, and mobility is the key driving force for most of the companies. There are people looking in Singapore, people in US, people in UK. Everyone is actually looking for this kind of mobility platforms to support SAP's installations. SAP's target is also to move all the applications or all the core applications on UI5 platform by 2017. It has already moved the financials to simplified financials, and most of the people are now installing SFIN, that is called the simplified financials, or SAP financials. And there's a major paradigm shift from the existing FICO to this from the existing FICO, SAP FICO to SAP financials or simplified finance. If you are a functional guy, you should be aware of that by now. And it has been SAP's paradigm shift that SAP now wants every new implementation project should use SAP F5 applications as a core. They are not developing any of the any new apps or any new applications in the SAP GUI anymore. Everything is being moved to SAP Fiori or SAP F5. All of the companies in the world are now looking, which have SAP installations or which are doing SAP implementations, are now looking for candidates with the SAP UI5 knowledge, along with SAP ABAP. SAP ABAP is still there, but in future, if everything moves to HANA as is the strategy of SAP, then people will be looking for UI5 and JavaScript and HANA expertise, and not only with the ABAP ones. There is already a very high demand of SAP UI5 candidates in abroad countries. A lot of the countries have been calling me also. For example, the Qatar people are calling, the UAE people are calling. Then there is an option, there are vacancies, the US also. There are multiple clients in there. There are oil companies in the UAE and the Saudi which are looking for SAP UI5 implementers. And then there are trading companies in SAP in Singapore which are looking for this. And there are utility companies in the US which are looking for this. Obviously, I cannot really name them right now, but these are the different companies which are actually looking for a very high expertise in SAP UI5. So if you join, what is the SAP UI5? What does SAP UI5 offer you if you are a non-SAP professional? So as SAP UI5, I have already told you that SAP UI5 is a front-end JavaScript UI library which consists of a lot of feature and a really large number of UI controls, which can be very helpful in creating new UIs for you. SAP has already made this UI5, SAP UI5 as an open source library. I'm not sure if you are aware of what is open source, but if you search the net for Open UI5, you will see that SAP has already exposed its own SAP UI5 library on the cloud to everyone else outside of SAP, also outside of SAP ecosystem. Also, you can straight away download the UI5 and you can start working on it. It is similar to the SAP UI5. It's just probably a branch behind or not, but it is trying to advocate everyone to use SAP's UI5 and help SAP evolve its own framework. Since it is based on JavaScript and has a strong reference to the OOPS concept, UI5 is the entry place that would appeal to a lot of developers outside of SAP ecosystem, because a lot of developers did not really know ABAP, and they did not know how to work on SAP. They because SAP has a huge footprint in SAP GUI. If you footprint meaning it needed a lot of hardware, a lot of devices, a lot of memory to run SAP GUI. But now with SAP UI5, it does not really need a lot of memory and a lot of hardware, and it's trying to appeal to everyone outside of SAP ecosystem also, so that it can have an army of developers and army of people who will be working on SAP ecosystem to evolve SAP ecosystem a lot further. That's the main strategy behind SAP UI5 and SAP Fiori push which SAP is trying to give. These applications which are developed in SAP UI5 or SAP Fiori can be connected to any type of backend. It does not mean that you can only connect to SAP backend. It can connect to Oracle, it can connect to Microsoft, it can connect to any Google database also, if properly coded. These SUI5 applications can work on JDBC, and most of the Linux or Sonar or Mac OS, any kind of laptop or any kind of system. So that's also for the whole of the SAP world and the other outside of the SAP. So for ABAPers, how it will help is that till now the ABAPers have been living in the SAP world, and their skill set has been confined to ABAP. But now, what they can do is they can expand their horizon by learning SAP UI5, which will help them um, in their future also, in their future prospects also, because SAP UI5 is the core technology on which SAP is moving very rapidly. The backend and the NetWeaver gateway are the core SAP system, and they are still now in the SAP UI5 also. They are still the core systems, and they are the guys. The ABAPers are the guys who can very easily move to the new system very fast. As I already said, WebDriven was the first attempt of SAP to move to the web world, but it did not really got a lot of acceptance. I mean, there are a lot of people who are using WebDriven, but still, it is not really at power with the Amazons and the Googles and the Facebooks of the world. And that's why SAP UI5 and SAP Fiori are being developed, which are supposed to be competing with the latest of the technology of the world. In future, my opinion is that the ABAPer's role would be to change the to deliver apps in mobile platforms, and that's where ABAPers will have to change their role. They will have to move to the web technology, and if you learn SAP UI5 now, this is the time to upskill yourself, to ramp yourself up. Okay, that's all about the benefits of learning SAP UI5. Any questions about SAP UI5 right now? So why should you learn? You must be having a lot of questions about SAP UI5 also, and why you should be learning SAP UI5 and Fiori. So I have stressed a lot of things in the SAP UI5 future, and also why you should be learning SIM. So for example, SAP's latest of the status UI technology is SAP UI5. SAP, if you have checked on SAP's website, or if you have checked out any of the webinars which are sent out by SAP, it clearly states that SAP UI5 is the strategy, is the UI technology which SAP is going to leverage on in future. it is the way forward for all of the new applications that SAP is going to develop. SAP UI5 is available out of the box in HANA, and then if you have checked out SAP NetWeaver stack, also SAP NetWeaver 7.4 and above have inbuilt SAP UI5 also. Earlier, you had to install SAP UI5 as an add-on, but now you don't really need to install SAP UI5 as an add-on. It is already inbuilt into HANA and NetWeaver also. It also works pretty well with the mobile platform which was introduced by SAP a couple of years ago. And the capsule is the native installation for SAP UI5. So if you, all in all, what I am trying to say is SAP is putting a lot of effort to put SAP UI5 in the forefront of the SAP world, and SAP Fiori on forefront of the world. They are really moving to the mobility now, and the mobility is being done by the SAP Fiori 5 and Fiori. So it is in your interest to learn both of the SAP UI5 and SAP Fiori. So it is the latest of the paradigms which SAP is rolling out across its SAP portfolio. All of the premise and cloud software is based on the Fiori and UF5. If you have checked HANA Cloud Platform or HANA Enterprise Cloud, everything is being done in SAP Fiori and UF5 technology. It is the first time in SAP's history, that is my opinion, that most of the development approaches, real outside in the development approach is possible. Meaning, if you did not know ABAP, or if you did not have an access to an ABAP system, even then you can work on SAP Fiori and UF5, and that's why I feel that SAP is trying to pull a lot of developers to its own core and try to extend its own interfaces and UI. For decades, customers have to install the SAP software and adjust the UI for their own needs. But now the customers can create their own UI and use SAP UI5 for the same. It's hell of a difference between the existing and the newer paradigm of SAP. That's why there is also a lot of design thinking going on. So design thinking is also one of the paradigms which is driving the force behind SAP UI5. I'm not sure if you're aware of the design thinking, but it is the newest principles in the IT industry to create new applications, create new frameworks, keeping the design thinking paradigm in nature. As I already told you, SAP UI5 supports responsive design. What is responsive meaning? Responsive means adaptive to any of the devices which are available, which is in contrast from all the WebDent Pro and other previous technologies which were introduced by SAP. All of the modern browsers are supported by this SAP UI5 and SAP Fiori. All of the Chrome, all of the Mozilla, the Safari, the IE10, Microsoft Edge, everything is actually supported by SAP UI5, which is becoming being appreciated by SAP customers also. It already has hundreds of controls, and it is based on MVC concepts. We will talk about MVC later in these sessions, but for right now, MVC is the model view controller, which is the base paradigm for a lot of the web applications, and divides a good modularization practice for any coding framework. SAP's Web IDE has also progressed in leaps and bounds. It's a class apart. It's from what it was earlier. It did not had a lot of things there at the starting. I can still remember at the starting of the Web IDE. It was around two years ago. I could not really start anything in there, but now if I open up WebID, it's class apart. It is, I mean, it has extended its progressiveness uh, with leaps and bounds. It can do a full-fledged application from start from scratch to the end in no time at all. That's what the WebID is all about. WebID is also based on UI5 and Fiori. And then there is also the HANA Cloud, which SAP is also pushing. SAP is trying to become the cloud company. SAP is going to be a cloud company in some time now. It's also one of the strategic achievements which SAP wants to get through. And the base of those achievements is HANA and UF5. And this technology is going to be the future of SAP as far as I can see. So if you are right now connected to the SAP ecosystem somehow, as in you are an implementer, you are a developer, or you are a client at client side, you should get in touch with SAP UI5. Else, it might be a little too late because it's going to hit you very fast right now. SFIN is already on the cloud. SFIN is already being implemented in a lot of companies, in Nestle, in Etihad, and many other different airlines also, and in many FMCG companies. So it is now, or you will be very late to learn SAP F5 in future. As I already told you, SAP UI5 applications can be themed with the theme editor. I have already shown you the theme designer. It has a standard OData protocol. We will talk about the OData protocol during our sessions. And it has already made SAP UI5 as an open source. I have already told you about the open source also. So based on all the above reasons, in my humble opinion, IMHO, many upcoming business requirements will be best met by SAP UI5. So I would ask you to please get ready and be on SAP UI5 as soon as you can. All right. So let me check. It's already an hour now, and that's all the time I have for today. Maybe we can continue later during our sessions. Vijay, you there? So if you have any questions, you can ask me now. Do you need to know about JavaScript? Sapna, you can, it would be in your good interest that you would know JavaScript, but I would also be teaching JavaScript during my course. So it is not a mandatory, but it is a recommended thing that you can learn JavaScript on your own also, or you can also learn the JavaScript while we are in the course. All the basics of the JavaScript, all the things that you need to know for UI5, I would be covering during my course. Any other questions? Sure. Sapna. a second if I have the course contents. Yeah. So before we close the session, I just wanted to cover what all I would be covering during the course. During the course, I would be giving you an SAP Ui5 interview, an introduction to the overview of SAP Ui5. I would be talking about the architecture. We would be seeing that architecture of SAP Ui5. We would be checking what is the difference between SAP Ui5 and SAP Fiori. We would also be looking at the development processes, software components, and the installations also for SAP Ui5 if needed. We would be covering the NetWeaver gateway, OData services, and the front-end components of the Ui5. We were looking about the OData services, HTTP protocols, and everything that's there related to OData and NetWeaver. Then I would be working on the development of Ui5 components, of your basics, and everything. Last but not the least, I would also be covering the design principles, development, debugging, and common problems which are needed. The best feature of this course would be that I would be covering everything on the hands-on. Everything would be hands-on. I would be showing your sorry. I would be showing you everything that goes on in SAP Ui5 world, SAP developing an SAP app or implementing an SAP app. I would be showing you this on the system itself, and I would be showing you the real-time scenarios while covering all of this. And also, I would be helping you out in the SAP system access also. We would be helping out. Of course, you would be having the knowledge, Sapna, to work as an SAP Ui5 consultant or SAP Ui5 or SAP Fiori guy or a girl. How can you get the experience? So right now, if you check it out, SAP Ui5, there's a dearth of people in the market right now. There is a lot of demand for SAP Ui5 and SAP Fiori clicks, and there is not a lot of people who can answer all those questions about SAP Ui5. So if you go through this course, you will have a good hand knowledge about SAP Ui5 and SAP Fiori. And even right now also people are asking for more and more people who know about SAP Ui5. Even you have already got SAP background, then also if you get SAP Ui5 background, people would be looking at you to work on the latest of the projects. You can tell them right away that I have and that I have knowledge about SAP Ui5 and SAP Fiori. It is very recent that SAP Ui5 and SAP Fiori which was Fiori technology which has been launched into the market. So it's just not really that people are looking for a lot of experience with SAP Ui5, but people are looking for knowledgeable people in SAP Ui5 and SAP Fiori. And also, as which I already mentioned, that I have already trained a lot of people in SAP Ui5 and Fiori, and recently also from my last batch also 5 people actually got jobs in Ui5 who took the training from our institute from me also. I hope that answers your question, Sapna. Any other questions? And of course, the course is always a lot more hands-on. You can always work on the stuff. You would be provided systems. You would be given access to the systems where you can try everything that you want. I would be giving you the assignments. I would be telling you to do the assignments, and these assignments would have the projects which would be typically corporate level projects. They would have these assignments or tasks which are almost every time needed for getting your projects online. Any other questions?